time is 6:15. Here is the news edited by Dilini Gunawardana, read by Victor Raj. Here are the headlines of the local news. President Ranil Wickremesinghe says that the largest populist privatization program has been presented by the budget. The foreign exchange of the island reaches $3.5 billion. A strong earthquake is reported off Sri Lanka, no tsunami threat. MP Sathanayake, who spoke during the debate, said that the budget has shown progress on debt restructuring. Global Entrepreneurship Week is officially launched. Foreign news. The U.S. President says Al-Shifa Hospital must be protected as fighting goes on in Gaza. Sports news. National Youth Sports Festival will commence on November 16th. Local news in detail. President Ranil Wickremesinghe says that the largest populist privatization program has been presented by the budget of this year. It is proposed to grant land ownership to those who do not own lands. He made these remarks at a discussion held with the heads of the media agencies. Actions are taken to create a new competitive economy. Suggestions to upgrade agriculture and fisheries have been included in the budget. The government intends to create a digital economy in the country. Thus, budget will substantially change the education system. The Central Bank Act is effective at present. The Anti-Corruption Act has been passed by the House. The political culture of the country will undergo a positive change. Plans are underway to restrain the state expenditure. President's advisor Dr. R.H. Samarathunga mentioned that the program implemented by the President has resulted in indicating a positive value in the economic development rate of the island. The foreign exchange of the island reaches $3.5 billion as well. Minister Dr. Bandula Gunawardana, Presidential Secretariat Mr. Saman Ekanayake and the Chief of the Presidential Staff Mr. Sagal Ratnayake also took part in this discussion. The Budget 2024 was taken into debate in the Parliament today. MP C.B. Ratnayake said that everyone should work together to build the national economy. He said it is the responsibility of all to put aside personal opinions and make the budget a reality. MP Sathanayake, who spoke during the debate, said that the budget has shown progress on debt restructuring. He added that no clear program has been presented on the recovery from the financial crisis. Minister Nalin Fernandez said that this budget has strengthened the small and medium-scale businessmen. 65% of the business sector in this country are represented by small and medium-scale businesses. Providing export facilities to them is included in the budget proposal. Joining the debate, MP S. Sridharan accused that reconciliation is merely a word in the present context. He emphasized steps should be taken to provide a fair solution to the problems of the Tamil people. Minister Mahinda Amaravera said that a positive change is taking place in the agriculture sector. The progress in the food production field is obvious. Steps have also been taken to introduce modern technology to agriculture. MP Professor Charita Herath said that private entrepreneurs should be protected. A policy framework should be created for that. He accused that no program has been presented in this regard in the budget. Minister of State for Technology Kanaka Herath inaugurated the Global Entrepreneurship Week. The State Minister requested the departing youth and entrepreneurs to actively contribute to the nation's economic development, aligning with the objectives of the DigiCon 2030 initiative. Highlighting the DigiCon program, Minister Herath emphasized on ongoing efforts to cultivate a digital economy by fostering a conducive environment for entrepreneurial endeavors. Minister Kanaka Herath conveyed these sentiments during the official launch of the Global Entrepreneurship Week, a global celebration spanning over 200 countries under the theme Entrepreneurs Thrive Here from November 13th onwards. Throughout the week, diverse activities including conferences, seminars, workshops and discussions have been orchestrated across the nation in sectors such as entrepreneurship, innovation, startups, business economic system, education, digital interaction and policies. These events aim to evaluate and empower innovative entrepreneurs, fostering collaboration among local entrepreneurs, investors, researchers and industry experts. This news comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
People's Bank Excelsior. Live the life you want.
Continuing with more local news, the CORP Committee instructs to upgrade the standards of the Sri Lanka Standards Institution. The Sri Lanka Standards Institution was summoned by the CORP Committee headed by Professor Ranjit Bandara recently. The committee paid attention to the Auditor General's report of 2020 and 2021 and the current performance of the institution. The committee expressed dissatisfaction over failing to submit the annual report after 2020. Attention was also paid to payment of incentives and other allowance in contrary to the finance circular dated 11th of January. A group of 6 women had attempted to leave for Dubai on tourist visas, albeit they were travelling for employment prospects. The Safe Migration Promotion Unit, SMPU, stationed at the Bandaranaike International Airport in Katunayake, however, upon a suspicion, had questioned the group in question. The women were then turned away from the airport. By the SLBFE also temporarily blacklisted all 6 passports, preventing the group from travelling abroad until this suspension is lifted. That ends local news.
People's Bank Excelsior, a comprehensive banking services package with a branded checkbook as well as debit and credit card exclusively for you. People's Bank Excelsior, for professionals who dare to dream.
The main news story is brought to you by Sinhala Veda Mahatmya.
A strong earthquake of magnitude 6.2 has rocked the seas southeast of Sri Lanka this afternoon. The National Centre for Seismology of India said the earthquake was reported 1,326 kilometers off southeast of Colombo at around 12:31 IST at the depth of 10 kilometers in the post on X. It was emphasized that it will not result in any tsunami threat. That ends main news story.
The main news story was brought to you by Sinhala Veda Mahatmya.
Moving on to watch light. 13 post offices in the Western Province, South, covering Colombo and Kalutara will remain open 24 hours, offering night services to accept fine related to traffic offences. DIG Traffic Control and Road Safety Indika Hapugoda communicated this initiative to divisional officers in the Colombo North, South, Central, Nugegoda, Mount Lavinia, Kalutara, Sitavakapura, Kelaniya and Gampa as part of the pilot project. The specified post offices including locations such as Slave Island, Havelock Town, Vallavatta, Borella, Kotahena, Battaramulla, Nugegoda, Dehiwala, Mount Lavinia, Moratua, Panadura, Kalutara and Sitavakapura have been designated to accept fines 24/7, including during the night. That came to you on Watchlight. Moving on to world news, let's take a look at the headlines. The U.S. President says Al-Shifa Hospital must be protected as fighting goes on in Gaza. Uttarakhand tunnel collapse. Rescuers race to save 40 workers trapped. Detainees walk free after Australian High Court's life-changing decision. World news in detail. President Joe Biden says Al-Shifa Hospital must be protected as fighting rages close to the facility in Gaza City. His comments came as UK Premier Rishi Sunak urged Israel to do everything possible to protect civilians in Gaza and called for an urgent humanitarian force. Israel has accused Hamas of running a command center under Al-Shifa, which the hospital had Hamas Deni. Meanwhile, UN says dozens of premature babies and 45 kidney patients needing dialysis can't be treated properly due to a lack of power. The Israeli military says it's in the process of coordinating the transfer of incubators from the hospital in Israel to Gaza. Rescuers are racing to save 40 workers trapped inside a collapsed tunnel in the northern Indian state of Uttarakhand since Sunday morning. The workers who were building the tunnel were trapped when part of it caved in due to a landslide. Officials have been able to establish contact with the men and have been providing them with food, water and oxygen while they try to get them out. They say they expect to rescue the workers by this night. Dozens of people have been walking out of immigration detention in Australia after a High Court ruled indefinite detention was illegal. While the arbitrary detention of asylum seekers and refugees is a breach of international law, successive Australian governments have continued the detained refugees arbitrarily since 2004 decision found it illegal under Australian domestic law. But that all changed recently when the High Court ruled the practice was unlawful. Following the decision, 80 people, refugees as well as people held by immigration for other reasons, were released immediately into the community, with at least 92 more eligible are released. Experts say 300 more cases could also be affected by the decision. To wrap up the world news, let's take a look at the headlines. The US President says Al-Shifa Hospital must be protected as fighting goes on in Gaza. Uttarakhand tunnel collapse. Rescuers race to save 40 workers trapped. Detainees walk free after Australian High Court's life-changing decision. That ends World News.
Development News.
The Agriculture Minister has approved a project to grow strawberries for export. The approval for this project was granted by Agriculture Minister Mahinda Amaravira after a proposal was presented by the group of local investors for the implementation of the project as soon as possible. During the meeting at the ministry, it was agreed to provide 1 hectare of land in our area belonging to the ministry as a pilot project under the first phase. That came to you on Development News.
Moving on with sports news.
The 34th National Youth Sports Festival, organized by the National Youth Services Centre under the supervision of the Sports and Youth Ministry, is set to kick off at the Sungatadasa Stadium from November 16th to 19th, featuring the participation of 3,000 athletes. The 5-day national competition will unfold in 2 divisions, catering to athletes between 15 and 29 years of age, and those in the under 20 and above 20 age categories. The festival promises substantial cash prizes, with the 4 best athletes in both men's and women's categories receiving 250,000 rupees each. Champion districts will receive 200,000 rupees, runners-up districts as 150,000 rupees, and third-place districts 100,000 rupees along with trophies. That came to you on Sports News.
Go ekakthiyana youth ekata life eke change ekata niyameta set wenna as wahagena dagapu veena habe karanna youth ekata niyameta set wenna friendship eka menna.
The all-new NSB Ithru account, NSB IM, a plan for your dream.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Sri Lankan Airlines said today that they have advanced their passenger services at the Bandar Naik International Airport with the introduction of the self-service check-in and self-bag drop services. This initiative is set to redefine the travel experience, placing convenience and efficiency at the forefront. Passengers can now independently complete the entire check-in process, including flight check-in, seat selection, and the printing of boarding passes and bag tags. That came to you on Business News.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Go ekak tiyana youth ekata life ekේ change ekata niyameta set wenna as wahagena dakapu veena habe karanna youth ekata niyameta set wenna friendship එක menna.
The all-new NSB Ithru account, NSB IM, a plan for your dream.
Moving on to economic news, Chairman of the Confederation of Micro, Small and Medium Industries said that for the first time in history, a huge sum of 50 billion rupees was allocated from the national budget for the development of the small and medium enterprises sector. The chairman said that he is happy that the present president, as the Minister of Finance, has given in this year's budget a large amount that was not ever given by any government for the development of small and medium enterprises. That ends economic news.
Weather report.
The low-level atmospheric disturbance over the island persists. Showers or thunder showers will occur at several places in most provinces of the island. Showers will occur over coastal areas of the northern, northwestern, western and southern provinces. Fairly heavy showers above 75 mm are likely at some places in the northern, north central, northwestern and eastern provinces. That ends with the report. To wrap up the evening news on Radio Sri Lanka, let's take a look at the headlines once again. President Ranil Wickremesinghe says that the largest populist privatization program has been presented by the government. The foreign exchange of the island reaches $3.5 billion. A strong earthquake is reported off Sri Lanka, no tsunami threat. MP Tisathanayake, who spoke during the debate, said that the budget has shown progress in debt restructuring. Global Entrepreneurship Week is officially launched. Foreign news, the US President says Al-Shifa Hospital must be protected as fighting goes on in Gaza. Sports news, National Youth Sports Festival will commence on November 16th. With that, we wrap up the evening news on Radio Sri Lanka. Back to my good friend US, Chandiva Veerakorn.